I think that you've heard the common feminist argument that high heels are a way for women to cripple themselves and be unable to walk appropriately.
What?
You don't agree?
I've
I agree with this.
literally you said that was a
Yeah, I remember
common
hearing this when I was like,
feminist
15.
from who?
A woman as hero teacher.
What's that?
It's a feminist class, feminist literature.
Oh, so you were in your, feminism class in high school?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've never
Um,
heard that, so I
so
wouldn't be able to speak.
high heels, they make women taller, look thinner for men, and they make it incredibly hard for them to walk. And it basically you're crippling yourself just for your beauty and your appearance, for the sake of others. Um,
I don't agree with that at all,
you
honestly.
don't agree? Well, I can argue with that, but I
No.
would wanted to extend that even further to nails.
Okay.
Something I personally, for me, I consider it a dating preference. I consider very long nails, like over an inch. That's a red flag. Like if you're dating someone with long nails like that, it means they're not going to do any manual labor. Like they're not going to want to wash dishes. They're not going to be able to function very well. They're not even going to be able to type well on a keyboard. They're just like permanently
Well,
disabling
excuse
themselves.
me. I'll have you know, I know quite a number of people with pretty large acrylics who are damn good at typing at a keyboard. In fact, I'm very good at typing on a keyboard with acrylics. My nails are all fucked
Hmm.
up right now, but I recently had quite long acrylics and I did just fine to do my stream, to type messages,
What
and to
did you use the
write.
tip or you use the nail?
Oh, I wouldn't be able to tell you off the cuff. I've been playing piano and stuff my whole life, so it comes pretty easily to me even when I have things on my fingers.
Mm,
I don't know, your worldview seems to be one. I don't wanna be too cruel off the cuff, but it seems a little paranoid. Like, to me, while I do agree that there is a certain pressure, for women to wear high heels, I think also that a lot of women and men, for that matter, less men, admittedly, and lots of non-binary people wear high heels simply because they find it personally beautifying, not simply for
right.
men. Same
Okay,
thing goes
then
for
that's
nails.
the
Yeah.
topic. Then that'll be the topic. I think that that personal beautifying thing is um, basically 95% a lie.
That's weird.
That when you personally beautify yourself, it's for the approval of others. The approval of yourself. There's nothing. So
How do you know that? How do you know
I
that?
used to be a femboy. I used to put a lot of work into my appearance. I did a lot of these things, a lot
Why'd you
of the things that I'm
stop?
criticizing. And so as a male, without taking hormones or anything, shaving my legs, I would they grows very thick and very fast. I would shave my legs probably 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times
That's a
a
lot of
week.
work. That's a lot of work, my
Yeah, it
friend.
is a lot of work, and I hated it. And the most gratifying thing, the thing that gave me the best sense of ease and comfort with myself was abandoning that need for me to need to shave my legs to feel like I look good. And now I don't care, and I feel like I look good no matter if I shave or don't shave. I just feel confident and happy with myself. And the more
Sounds
layers you put
great.
on top of that in order to feel good and confident about yourself, like now I need to wear high heels, I need to spend an hour on my hair, I need to spend an hour doing my clothes, I need to spend an hour on my makeup, I need to have these long nails that make it hard for me to wash dishes or pick up the
Hold on a second. You're
garbage.
starting to lose me though, because see, I think it's a good thing, and in fact, I can even bond with you on this because I used to every single stream. I used to do a lot. I used to do full makeup when I first started streaming, and then I realized that there was a press that I had begun to feel a pressure. And at first, it was very much because I wanted to feel confident in my appearance, and whatever, and I quite liked it. And I do still frequently wear makeup on stream, but I made a rule for myself early on in stream that I would only wear makeup when I felt like it, when I wanted to do it. That I would be conscious of the pressures in the process, and as a result I've come to peace with when I want to wear makeup and when I don't. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing when people do something like you mentioned about shaving your body. Like, shaving your body hair is a lot of work, and if it's not if it's becoming if it becomes a habit of pressure, that's not a good thing. But I would be hesitant to universalize that out to, first of all habits, and also to all people, because I think that there's a balance to be struck between feeling pressured by a certain habit and a habit that is beneficial to you. And I think this is true for all things, by the way, if you want to take it to extremes. There are some habits that are, I would say, are largely beneficial to ourselves, things like brushing our teeth, that can become like aggressively oppressive. Like imagine if you had somebody like a parent that like struck you whenever you didn't brush your teeth because you were sleepy or something, like you forgot. Like that would be cruel. But these things exist on a spectrum, right? You can't just write them all off because there are circumstances in which they become oppressive, right?
Right. All these things, for every woman out there, you'll know, and there's things that I've done in my life that are the same. Of course, as I just described, but every woman will know this. Doing your makeup and being good at makeup as a woman is going to make your life better. People are going to treat you better. You're going to be treated better at your job. You're a streamer. More people will watch. You're going to get more sexual access. But for all women, it's bad for every time you put on your makeup, you're hurting all women. You're making this standard.
See, you're
Yes.
making a jump
Yes.
there.
No, I'm not.
No, I think I think that goes
Why?
way too far.
Why is it a jump?
Because, because I don't think you can demonstrate that harm. I don't
Yes,
think
I
you can
can.
demonstrate
Okay,
the
so
harm in
yes,
saying,
well, I
wait,
was
wait,
doing that, and
you're
just you cut me off when I was
sure.
demonstrating
Go
it.
ahead. I didn't mean to cut
So,
you off, but sure.
so when you put on your makeup, it benefits you greatly in your life, in your immediate life. And women that don't put on makeup are going to be greatly held back compared to the women that do wear makeup. So now we've created a standard where women that don't wear makeup are not going to have the same opportunities or the same treatment as women that do wear makeup. And so for every woman that wears makeup, you're forcing this, even though it greatly benefits you, you're forcing this standard on all of women. And this is feminism one-on-one. We're just
I
having a
don't
feminism
agree.
one-on-one
No,
argument
no,
here.
no, no. I don't think we are having a feminism one-on-one argument
Okay.
because I think I think what you're doing is you're misidentifying the source of the pressure. The pressure to wear makeup. I mean, and by the way, this is in your words. You said that it was for men. The pressure is coming from men then.
Or
From
other women,
men who are but you can't be
other
you
women
said
too,
before it was from men that high
other
heels were
women too.
done for. Okay, fine. You want to modify that to other
Approval of
women too?
others.
Sure, but I think that you could say that about just about everything, including wearing clothes and all kinds of
Hmm.
other things.
Yep.
But
Yes.
I don't think that you can demonstrate a harm in simply saying, "I am going to wear makeup today for whatever reason," even if it is because you feel like it will give you some sort of
Great.
leg up or whatever. I don't think you
It gives
can
you a great
universalize that into
benefit
harm.
and you get great personal benefit in your day, in your life. But
Well,
you're
but
creating the harm is not to you. The harm is in creating a standard where now all women are expected to wear makeup. Makeup's going to make your life better, so all women are going to do it, and any women that doesn't is going to be greatly held back.
no, I don't agree with that because see, you keep
Why?
making this jump where you
It's
say
not a jump.
that
You're not
that
engaging with it.
I What no, I'm trying to engage with it.
Okay,
What you're
I'll shut
saying
up.
is that because each individual if an individual chooses to engage with a structure that has problematic elements. So to isolate things down, we'll just stick with makeup for now. Makeup wearing as an act in our society that has social connotations has problematic elements. The whole thing isn't problematic. There's nothing inherently problematic with wearing makeup. That would be, I mean, I assume that you don't think that. I don't think that. I think it's absurd
I
to say
think
that there's
so.
something. Okay, so, wait, you do think there's something
You're
intrinsically
yeah,
bad with makeup?
you're
Why are you wearing glasses
so
right
if you feel more because of my vision, but if you
now? Okay,
feel
what's the problem with that
beautiful, utility.
Okay, but makeup is also a utility. If
No, it's
you put
not.
it on your fit, it absolutely is. How can you not say
What?
it's a utility?
To look a
Any
certain way so people treat you a certain way.
You are changing your natural state so that you can
Yes.
see better, so that you can fit in with society better, so that you can live your life more easily. Some people put on makeup to change their natural state so they can feel better about
Look
themselves, fit
different.
in better, et cetera. It
I
doesn't
think
matter.
trying to make yourself cosmetically look different is dishonest and you're doing yourself a disservice because you should feel beautiful for who you are and you should be treated as beautiful for who you are.
But that would
And
apply to
so if
literally
all
any
women stopped
day at
wearing
any
makeup,
time.
if all women stopped shaving their legs, women wouldn't have to shave their legs anymore. If all women stopped
But
wearing
wait,
makeup,
but what if they wanted to? What if a woman
because
wanted to
it'll help
shave?
them. Yeah, sure. I understand it
No,
because
no,
it'll
for
be a
any
benefit
reason.
to
Like
them.
no, but not just because it'll be a benefit to them. Like there's multiple reasons to shave your legs that are not just visual. For example, it's really fucking annoying to have staticky legs. Some people shave their legs because it makes the static go away from their clothing and their blankets and everything. I've done that. I've done that many times in my life. Have I shaved a part of my body because I was getting annoyed with the feeling of the hairs? That's like, I don't know. This just seems like this is a it seems like you're identifying that there is an issue where there's a sort of top-down pressure. What I mean by that is that there are these continually reinforced norms. Men predominantly in powerful positions because of if we're going feminism 101 because of the existence of patriarchy, which given that you cited feminism 101, I assume you believe in. Patriarchy exists. Patriarchy exerts pressure for all types of people, but specifically for women to be sexually accepting or to be sexually gratifying. And then those people who adhere to that norm are granted some levels of benefit, and those who don't are given some side or sort of negative to their
Lack of benefit, but
yeah, whatever.
lack of benefit in face of the norm. So if everybody's getting the benefit, then it's really that
Right.
no, it's if everybody's getting the benefit, it's actually that nobody's getting the benefit, and only the people who don't do it are just getting a negative. If
Well,
90% of
yes and
people
no.
are 90% of women are shaving their legs, then it's almost as if all women have just naked legs, and the women who don't shave their legs are freaks.
I mean, yes, I would agree that that's how
Yes,
norms
that's
work,
what I
but
just said.
to a certain degree though, because of course that's how setting of norms works, but that does not mean that people who shave their legs are by that action
Contributing,
alone though,
contributing.
because contributing to a norm is you
Right.
have to be careful not to naturalize it because the norm isn't a true it's a false naturalization. Somebody should have the right to be able to shave their legs and
Sure.
and live however comfortably. That
They
doesn't
have the
demonize
right.
the act of shaving your legs.
They
But
have the right.
not just the right, but there is no moral wrong in the act of shaving your legs.
I think there
That make
is.
sense? Well,
I think there is. I
sorry you
think there
feel
is, but I don't I think you can be immoral sometimes. It's okay to be immoral sometimes, but I think that it doesn't change the fact like sometimes I still shave my legs. Sometimes like once in a while. Um and I do it for like to impress a woman or something. Sometimes I know that'll get someone going, but it
don't you feel
it's a
that
disservice
you're
to
reinforcing the
everyone.
norm? Don't you feel like you're like sort of you're almost
Yes.
like forcing people to further participate in a norm and also just creating a mirror image of the norm by saying that
Not
anybody who
necessarily as a
shaves their
man,
legs
but yes.
okay.
I'm
Well,
putting
I
I'm
don't
doing
understand what your point is and how it benefits any like how your position helps you answer questions about the world or helps you give a meaningful because
um
to me like makeup
okay,
is like an intrinsic there's nothing intrinsically wrong with makeup. The problem is
I
the
think
way
there
that
is.
our society stigmatize it, right?
No, it's no because so if you if you need makeup for people to find you interesting to talk to or be appealing or attractive, and without makeup you're repulsive, well
Well,
then
no, but
makeup.
that's an extreme. You've jumped to an extreme. We are talking about the act of makeup at all. I,
Mhm.
I like makeup for various reasons. Sometimes I love costume makeup, which is not at all
Right.
about making me more appealing in any, or I should not say not traditionally appealing. For example, once I painted my
Costume
whole
makeup
face
is
red like
different,
a kitten,
completely different. Completely different thing, costume makeup. I just want to say that real quick.
but it's not though. It's the
Yes, it
same
is. No,
tools.
because
Same
makeup,
tools.
you're lying about your face. You're saying you're trying to make yourself look like you're naturally beautiful when you wear makeup. When you wear costume makeup, you're not lying about anything. You're putting on you're making art.
What's to say that somebody's makeup for in their day-to-day life is not the same?
They can be artful, but
Yeah,
that
like,
doesn't
I
mean
don't know,
that they're not
it seems
lying.
like a
They're
very
being artful
arbitrary
about their
distinction.
deception.
what? Who's to say? How do you know? How do you determine it's a deception? See, this is so
Because it
strange because
looks
I
like
feel
it's
like
not makeup.
well, wait, hold on. I feel like you're projecting your own. I don't know if I would call it an insecurity or or a a sensitivity. Maybe a sensitivity is a better word. I don't want to be like I don't want to insult you or seem like
You
I'm
can insult
assaulting you.
me.
It means like
Just
no,
insult me if you want to insult me.
Can I,
Just do it. You
I'm
can do
not
it.
Smith,
I'm not deliberately trying not to insult you because I'm trying to put this in a way that makes
You
the
can.
most
very
okay.
quickly, Smith, I know you were nominated to debate Demon Mama. Do you mind if I engage in this conversation, or would you
Go
prefer
ahead.
to just be with Demon Mama? Because it's up to you.
I don't mind.
You don't mind?
I don't mind.
Okay. Just the immediate thing that comes to mind as I'm listening to what you guys are talking about. People wear makeup for people they are familiar with. It doesn't just have a deceptive function. It can. Sometimes people do wear makeup, for example, to obscure like aspects about their face that they want to sort of sell themselves as looking as somewhat different than they are. But that's not always the case. Makeup can be a part of like formal dress wear, for instance, or it can just be like a part of freshening up. And the problem here, in addition, is that
Or
for us,
ritual or
ritual, or et cetera, but even just for like regular use, what you have to sustain in order to say that makeup is categorically an act of deception is that by wearing, is that it is obscure to the people around someone wearing makeup that they are wearing makeup. But that's generally not true, with the exception, say, of putting on like something to like disguise blemishes or whatnot. But I don't hear any complaint about that specifically.
That's part of that's basically the I mean that's called foundation for a reason because it's the foundation of your makeup. Some women don't use it, but you're still when you're doing costume makeup, it's not what I'm talking about, like these big wings and shit. But most makeup, like everyday makeup, you're just trying to make yourself look like you are younger. You're making yourself look like you're more full of life. You're less tired. But really,
So
maybe you
when you
should
pick clothing,
if you are
but those are
tired,
projected. But those are projected. See what I'm saying? You're projecting those
projecting.
assumptions.
I'm
You're
giving
saying that that's
examples.
the purpose. No, you're projecting the examples. You don't know the reason why
Those
every
are the
person.
reasons. Those are the
No, you
reasons you wear
can't know
makeup.
that. You
Yes, I
can't know
do.
that. You
You
can't
cover up.
know what
Okay,
every
listen.
individual
You
person's
cover up the
reason.
bags under your eyes. You make your lashes look more thick and like you have more life. You got healthier hair. You make your skin look like it's more pink because you got more blood in it.
you
You make your
shave
lips
up
look like they
here
got.
but not down here or here. You wear clothing. You're not wearing skin tight suits so everybody can see every rib,
Yeah,
every fold.
I think that you're boiling every act down to a remarkably simple assumption for what the purpose is. I have never once thought about
But
when
how
I'm
you engage with the projection thing so we cannot.
well, no,
So
because
I've
that's
already beaten on you on this. So I need to
okay.
prove it, hammer it in that it wasn't projection. I'm accurately describing how putting blush on makes your skin look more like it's alive. I'm
You
accurately
sound like
describing how
Jordan
making,
Peterson saying that, oh, it's because in history monkeys
but
would
that's
turn
not,
red when they were ready to have sex. It's not
it's not
no.
engaging with me.
I've never met. No, I am engaging with you. You said I could insult you, and now you're getting all fucking in
No,
hackles
no,
when
no.
I try to push on you. Come on, don't be a
I'm just
pussy
saying
about
it's
it.
not
Now,
engaging with me. You can insult
um,
me.
I am engaging with you. When you say that it's that people do it for this reason, you are like making us a almost as if you are reading their minds, but you don't know the reasons why any person does
No,
the
no,
thing.
no.
You can only
Okay,
have
I have a degree in
only
painting. I
I
have a
don't care.
degree in painting. So I
Congratulations, so did
understand
Hitler.
color. So I understand color and I understand when you put mascara in your eyelashes, you're making your hair look healthier. That's the that's the function. When you put blush on your skin, you make it look like there's
That's
more blood in
that's
your
what
skin.
you have decided the function is. Let me tell you from personal experience, 100% honest. I have never once thought when putting on mascara on my eyelashes, I have never once thought this is making my eyelashes look more youthful. What I have thought is, wow, I actually quite like the fact that this darkens the area around my eyes, makes my eyes look maybe a little bit more striking on the camera, which is lost because of the way that lighting works. I've
Wait
never
a
once
minute,
thought
Demon
about
Mama. Were you
what.
lying to me this entire time?
Yes, I've been lying to you because I have lighting on in my studio, which means that it is a deception by default. It is this is a ridiculous, in my opinion. It requires you to assume that you know the personal motivation of every single person, in,
Okay.
and you're
Why don't
substituting
let's
color
I'm sorry.
theory
I'll stop interrupting you.
you're substituting color theory for or something. I don't know, an invocation of color theory for something akin to understanding why people make the decisions that they do. I would be willing to say that
No,
there are.
I
mean,
never said anything
know.
about why. Because you clearly don't do that for that reason. I'm telling you, that's the function of the makeup. Even if you don't know why, that's what it does. That's why it makes you more beautiful. It's because it makes you look younger, makes you look more healthy, makes you look like you have clearer skin. It makes it
Okay,
look
so hold
like
on, wait.
you.
If that's true, then why does costume makeup work? If costume
Because
makeup
costume makeup
can
is
become,
not what
wait,
I'm
if it can
talking
become
about, and
more
I've already
striking,
said that.
but you're cheating though. You're cheating
No, I'm
because you're
not.
saying that in this case, ooh, it doesn't work anymore. But it's still makeup, and it's still changing your appearance.
Costume makeup is not
Makes
deception
you
because it's clearly like a giant fucking wing. You're not trying to make it. People don't look at when you have a giant fucking wing and think that's your natural eye. But when you if you have makeup on right now,
well,
I think you
notice
look.
most
This looks like
people.
you're just your face to me. If you have makeup
I
on,
have
so you
no
could have
makeup
fooled
on right
me.
now. I am
Okay
wearing no
then.
makeup. So
Okay
then
then.
you're
But
deceiving yourself. You're the
but
fool,
if you,
not
I
anybody
said
who
if
does makeup.
I said if you have makeup on.
This is a you problem.
No, it's
This
not.
is a you. Yes,
I
you're
said
projecting
if.
your problem onto
I
everybody
said
else.
if.
You're
I said if
confused
you
by
have.
natural makeup.
I said if you have makeup on, I can't tell.
Can we take this
And I
back to
don't.
the? Hang on, Demon Mama. Can we take this back to the wing for a second? So like, if
Sure.
you've got like giant, what's that? Natalie Portman movie called The Black Swan? If you got like those giant wings on, right? Yeah, sure, you can tell in the abstract that's not the person's eye shape, but the effect is still the same. You don't think, for example, that they have the opposite eye shape from that. You still are like attracted in the same way or whatever. That's still affecting your perception of the person, yet that is purely costume. I'm just not entirely certain I follow, because you're really pinpointing makeup in particular, but the same argument could be made with respect to every single article of clothing. In fact, even the concept of clothing by itself.
No. Like shoulder pads. Wearing shoulder pads is a deceptive. You're making it look like your shoulders are different. This costume makeup has the same quality of obscuring what your actual eyes look like, but it's clear that it is deception. So when you see Natalie Portman in Black Swan, you don't think that's what her eyes look like, but you also don't know what her eyes do look like. But it's honest because we know that it is a mask. When you're doing the natural look, you don't know it's a mask. I can change the topic to something you're going to agree with me on, because you're not going to agree with makeup because you're pro makeup.
I'm
But
curious.
we can talk about toxic masculinity. We could talk about how men conceal their emotions.
So wait,
It's
are
an
you-
act of
are we
it's an
dropping
act
the
of
topic
deception.
now?
If I'm what?
An act of. I feel like you play very fast and loose with the definition of an act of deception. I feel like you play very fast and loose with that. Like, and I'm not trying to armchair psychologize here, but it feels like there's like a paranoia for you around deception, when I don't think that most of these things are acts of deception or could be categorized as such. Because what are you deceiving from? Like,
Okay, so
makeup,
with toxic
natural makeup
yes,
is
yes.
like tricking you or something.
But what I told you already, natural
What
makeup.
what
You're trying
end?
to
What are
make
you
it
being
look.
tricked from? Are you entitled
You're
to
trying to
knowing
make
the
yourself
natural
more
appearance
look.
of everyone?
You're trying to
Do you
make
think?
yourself look.
Good question. Real quick, along your own logic, along your own lines of logic, do you think that wearing clothes is an act of deception?
No, I think natural makeup.
Why?
I think natural makeup. You're trying to make yourself look more young and healthy. I think with toxic masculinity in particular, I was going to talk about men concealing their emotions. You're deceiving people by fooling them into thinking that you don't have this turmoil, or you don't have some sadness or something. You try to be more stoic, and people think that you're under control and stoic, but really on the inside you have turmoil. And we agree that this is a problem for men, and this is an issue. Maybe it's actually very beneficial for a man to do this. It's going to improve your life.
Okay, sure.
If you're stoic,
Smith,
you're going to
very.
be treated better.
Okay.
Technically, it's
Look. That's
beneficial
very. Hang on, just one second. I want to jump in on this. That's very cool and everything, but here's my question to you though, because you just dismissed the clothing point. But when you go,
Because I wanted to talk.
I understand, but
Okay,
this is actually it actually directly corresponds. And I want to know exactly why you disagree. When you buy clothing at the store, do you specifically pick out clothes that make as apparent as possible what you would consider to be your least attractive features, or do you pick things that are flattering to you?
Much like the makeup of a Black Swan, Natalie Portman in Black Swan, wearing a baggy shirt is you're concealing what your actual, the makeup conceals what her eyes look like. A baggy shirt conceals what your chest looks like. But we know that the baggy shirt is not what your chest looks like. We just know that we can't see your chest. So
But
if you
we
wear,
know
so
that a person with
the
makeup doesn't
example,
look that in the same way, though.
so the example that I gave that completely bolsters my point is shoulder pads, because it's not just a baggy shirt that you don't know what the person's torso looks like. It actually makes it confusing because it looks like they have broader shoulders than they actually do.
But there are tells on makeup
Tuesday?
that tell if the person is wearing makeup. Like, you can
But again,
tell.
all of this seems to be coming
No,
from
you
a
can't.
position whereby you seem to believe that you are entitled to something that you
No.
call truth.
No, you're actually
do.
lying
Yes,
right now. You're
No,
lying
I'm
right now,
not.
and
No, I'm not
you're
lying.
putting
You
words in
argued
my
it was
mouth.
immoral. You argued it was immoral.
Yes, not because I'm
So then you
entitled.
do. Well,
It's
you
immoral.
from your moral
If you want, okay, I'll repeat my argument so you can actually try to listen this time. It's
Oh,
immoral.
I'm listening real close.
Okay.
Have you considered taking
Well,
this
you're
up
not,
with
because you just interrupted me, so you're actually a pretty shitty listener.
Wow.
Okay, it's immoral
You gonna
because
cry
when you
about it a
put on
little
your
more?
it's immoral
cry
because
about
when
it
you
a
put
little
This is
it's
a bloodbath.
immoral.
Don't look at me.
Because when you put on makeup and it improves your life, it makes your life better, makes people treat you better, it's good for you. But for all women to have that expectation and that standard, it hurts all women, because now they have to wear makeup. And it means that women that don't wear makeup and that their actual faces are less attractive to us because we expect them to wear makeup. And the same can be said for toxic masculinity and men concealing their emotions. It's beneficial for a man to conceal your emotions and be stoic. You're going to be treated better. You're going to get a better position in your job. You're going to move forward in life better. You're going to have better treatment every day. But it sucks. It creates a standard for men where now all men are hurt because we have this standard. And so maybe men should stop doing that and be more emotionally vulnerable for the sake of all men. Because it would uplift us all.
However, encouraging men to be more honest with their emotions does not mean you're making a jump. You're doing the same thing you were doing before. You're making a jump to saying that any instance of a man concealing his emotions is immoral. But that's absurd, of course, because there are times when it's very important sometimes to conceal your emotions. Like, for example, if you stub your toe and you're incredibly, incredibly mad about that fact, but you're about to walk into the birth of your child, it might be in that particular situation morally better for you to say, I'm so mad about the toe. However, there are other things going on here that are more important to myself and the people around me. So I'm going to calm myself and I'm going to move forward separately. Every instance of something happening does not become immoral just because the general is not a good state of affairs. Likewise goes for makeup. Sure, we can acknowledge that in society there is a pressure for women to wear makeup, and we can actually try to ascertain where that comes from. But that existing does not mean that every woman who ever wears makeup for any reason can just be condemned as an immoral act. And I think that's an incredibly unhelpful frame, because it ends up, like I said, producing just an opposite society where you are now condemning people for freely exercising their desire to change their appearance, which I don't
It's not
think there's any
condemnable. It's not condemnable.
You
But if you want to
literally
be
said it
moral
was
and if you want to
immoral. That is
uplift women,
no,
you're going to
that
have to
isn't
stop.
that is no,
And so,
don't be
like,
stupid.
the
Please
stubbing the toe is
don't be
incredibly
stupid.
bad
Please don't be
faith.
stupid.
The stubbing
You
the,
said it was immoral. That is a condemnation by
Yes.
definition.
No, it's not.
Thank you. What?
Because I also said another thing. If you remember, you said you're a good listener, and this is a
Speaking of which,
condemnation
just
because
very quickly, Demon Mama. Your
Yes.
mic quality
No,
seems
come
to
on.
hang on. Your mic quality seems to have declined slightly. I wonder if you switched devices or if you're like distant from your mic.
I didn't switch devices, but what may have happened is that I might need to reconnect to the call real quick. So let me disconnect and reconnect.
Sure.
Is it better? Is that better?
It's so far. I'll let you know.
Okay. Yeah, if it drops at all, just let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was probably just Discord has this issue where if you remain on a call for too long over time, it like I don't know if it's a memory leak or what. But anyway, where were we? We were talking about how your condemnation
So
by
if you stub your toe,
is not a condemnation.
okay, so it's not a condemnation because another thing that you seem to have forgotten because you said you're a good listener. The thing that as I said, it's okay. It's not a joke. It's I'm not joking. When I said that it's okay to be immoral. It's okay to be immoral sometimes, and this is in particular the kind of way it's going to be good for you to wear makeup. It's good for you to wear makeup. It's going to be good for your life, but it's bad for all women. And it's good for men to conceal your emotions.
Problem with your worldview,
and the stubbing the toe. The stubbing the toe. No, it's not. The stubbing. It's actually bad for your worldview if you think that everything immoral is something you can never do, and you have to be completely moral all the time.
Wait, hold on. Just a quick question before we go any further, because this will make the conversation a lot more possible. What does it mean to be immoral to you? Because when I hear the word immoral, I think immoral means a bad action, a thing that is bad to do. It is immoral. It is against morality.
Yes.
What do you think it means?
I think what you just said.
Okay, then.
And we do these things all the time. And I think if you believe that you have to do everything you do is moral, we're wearing clothes from fucking sweatshops right now. And if you think that everything you have to do is it has to be moral, then you're gonna be a wreck.
Well, that would be an argument for us, in fact, being moral hypocrites. But my question here's what perplexes me a little bit. We have the notion of morality specifically because it's not really the center of gravity for people to do what is most advantageous to them at every single time, or for people to do what is against what is advantageous to them every single time, just for the sake of altruism or whatever. We have to have like other things that pull us, or other measures by which to judge alternative decisions, so that we aren't just constantly going, I could not be exploiting child labor to get my clothes on the cheap, but it's cheaper for me to do so why wouldn't I? Well, here's a question for you. Why would you ever do the moral thing? And if there is no reason to do the moral thing, then where on earth is the force in saying that this is bad for all women, even assuming that you've been 100% correct?
Why would you even bother using morality as a structure?
It's the same level of a decision of the sweatshop thing. So I'm advocating for something on the same level of being more conscientious of what clothes you pick because of the sweatshops. And it's like, and so say you're poor or just you're struggling, or you really, really like those pair of pants. Well, once in a while, just fucking do the immoral thing. But overall, it's good to have an awareness of how our actions affect the world around us.
Good for what? So you live for 100 years at most.
Being aware of the fact that sweatshops exist is good. And I think that you should make people aware of it.
Okay. I don't disagree with you. But I also don't think that buying a piece of clothing that is generated from a sweatshop is an immoral act. I don't judge that on a moral standing, because I don't think that type of action is something that warrants significant moral interrogation, because you have your choices are incredibly limited. Everyone is bound up in the system that we exist in. So I don't judge consumerist decisions like that to be strictly a moral analysis. And I find it weird. If you're
like a billionaire, what if you're a billionaire and you could pick any clothes, but you choose the ones from the sweatshop? Then that's immoral.
If you're a billionaire, your existence is immoral. That's a difference. The act of being a billionaire,
dismissal.
It's not
dismissal of the point I was saying, though.
Not really at all. If you were sitting,
you're not a billionaire.
Crime.
You're not a billionaire. You're perfect. You have a perfect amount of wealth, and you can afford whatever clothes you want. Picking the sweatshop clothes is immoral.
Actually.
Oh no, it's not, because I sure, I agree that the vegans are right about the eating meat is immoral, but I still eat meat. Okay. But I know it's immoral.
So that means even if the vegans are wrong, by the way, that's immoral because you're violating your own moral code.
Right.
No, that's all that means is you're immoral.
It's okay to be immoral. If you believe that everything you do has to be moral, and you have to be like a monk.
Yeah, but if you don't agree with that, you've lost the concept of morality.
You've lost the concept of morality. Yes, exactly.
Wrong.
I think that when you're talking about something of morality, when you get to the level of when you're talking about
fucking say something. If you do that, if you think that you have to be moral in every single thing in your day, so like what you guys are saying, so I have to be completely morally consistent, it means you're going to make these fucking acrobatic leaps in your mind just to believe everything you do is moral. And you have to be willing to admit that the things you do every day are a little bit immoral. And you have to pick and choose which battles you want to fight. And battle I want to fight is I think men are that are the stubbing the toe thing is total bullshit. Yeah, of course, yeah, you don't want to fucking be an emotional wreck all the time. But when you're concealing emotions that are important to you, like all men do, and we shouldn't throw ourselves under the bus like that. It is going to be beneficial to you, but it's going to hurt all men because we're putting this standard on ourselves. The same thing with women wearing makeup. And I've had girlfriends that would not be wearing makeup in the morning, but I still would see them with makeup. I would still see them with makeup all the time, and that's just what they looked like to me. When I think about what they look like, I don't think about what they looked like without makeup. Isn't that kind of a problem?
It sounds like a you problem.
It sounds like a them problem.
I think it's no. It sounds like a you problem. Seriously,
it sounds like
it genuinely sounds like a you problem.
That they always wore makeup. And everybody sees them as the face with the makeup.
What's your problem, weirdo?
No. What are you
just sound like
you're not engaging with
incel.
You're just insulting. You're insulting me, but you're not engaging with. No, you're not. You're just insulting me. I'm saying it's a her problem.
About, dude?
You did say she could insult you.
Yeah, but you're not engaging. You can insult me, but you can engage with me. Okay, stop insulting me. No more insulting me. Okay, no more insulting me, because when you do it, you become a shitty arguer. So you don't insult me anymore.
You say so. I
it's her problem. It's her. I want to say what I had to say.
Sunday, he had a huge. He yelled at me to shut the hell up before. Now it's my turn, right? I set silent while he went on his big incel rant about how he's mad at his ex-girlfriends because they wore too much makeup. No.
I'm not going to stand for this. Sunday, do not let her spout this bullshit about me. Like just make up shit on the spot. It's her problem.
That's my interpretation.
Yeah, you tell her, Smith.
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
Her problem. It
sounds like you have a problem.
It is a.
All right.
It is a.
It is not.
It is her problem.
It is not.
Because
no. Now it becomes.
When she wears makeup 24/7.
All right.
And everybody sees her face as the makeup, then nobody's actually.
Yes, we understand the point. Here's what we're gonna do.
Right.
Smith, you're gonna go first. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes.
I just finished. You can go.
Yeah, it's my turn. I didn't even get to respond to that, Sunday, Mr. President.
I'm trying to let you earn your beat so you can go in for the kill. I'm being horribly biased in your favor, Demon Mama.
I've already earned it.
I know, but live a little. 2 minutes, Demon Mama.
All right. What it sounds like to me is like you bear some sort of resentment for your ex for how frequently they wore makeup, and I don't.
2 minutes.
My 2 minutes.
I'm going to say no if you do that. If you just project these, I'm going to say no.
I have a mute button. 2 minutes. Behave.
So, yeah.
Don't let her insult me then.
No, you once given, the insult license cannot be revoked. Continue, Demon Mama.
True, dude.
Okay, I'm going to start.
All right, here we go. All right, and we get to see. You going to be able to behave? All right.
2 minutes, go.
What it seems like to me, from what I can tell, there's something that bothered you about how frequently your ex wore makeup, and you, in your mind, didn't see her face without makeup, as if that alone is a problem. If you don't like that, I recommend finding somebody who personally doesn't want to make that much makeup and not trying to make it into something larger than that. I acknowledge that there are, of course, many pressures that exist in this world. However, if we're going to talk about how this ties back to what you were talking about, morality, at least from my perspective, when I rule something as something that is immoral, that is something that you do not want to violate at any time. You want to avoid violating that at all costs because it's immoral. You're putting it up to that standard. I don't put minor consumer decisions on the level of moral. I don't put being born into a society on a matter of morality. And I feel like if you have a structure by which you say, well, it's okay to bend your morals sometime, you've just invalidated the value of your own moral system. And I would argue, get a better moral system. If people have to, as a part of their daily life, violate morals to even survive or to have any semblance of a workable existence, then I don't think you've managed to capture a particularly good moral system. And additionally, I think it's possible to acknowledge that there are flaws in the long line of production to a product or to a act even that are immoral in and of themselves, but that the use of that thing is not in and of itself an immoral act. For example, my entire room is full of products. Everybody, every single person involved in here, every single person who's watching this right now currently is on a product one way or another that was from somewhere was produced from some level of exploitation. We have no way to extricate ourselves from that. So making the choice to use that tool a moral axiom, or not a moral axiom, but a moral point, does not serve us any value. It means that moral doesn't enlighten us to anything. It doesn't instruct us to anything, because you couldn't be alive if you don't plug into this in some way, and you didn't have a choice to plug into it in the first place. What matters as a moral system are things that help us move closer to what we value as a moral goal. There you go.
Smith,
Right.
you
We disagree on our
you have 2 minutes.
disagree on our philosophy of morals. So we just fundamentally disagree. I think that we should be able to acknowledge that most things we do are moral, and we should pick and choose which battles we want to fight, which ways we want to improve the world around us, and which ways we don't. And we can't fight every single battle, and that's why vegans care about that, because that's the battle they've chosen to pick. And I think it's a fruitless battle. But we said earlier that I have a problem with my ex-girlfriend wearing makeup. No, I thought she was beautiful, and the person that I saw was the one that wore the makeup. It's her problem that people think she's beautiful because of the makeup, and it's her problem that when people think of her face, they think of the makeup, and it's her problem that every morning, if she wants to be that person that people see her as, she has to spend an hour doing makeup. It's her problem, and it's all of women's problem, and doing that every day causes a problem to exist for more women. The same as it causes men to have to conceal their emotions when it's important to them, and they do it because it benefits them, and the people see them as that stoic person, but maybe they shouldn't be that stoic person, and it would uplift all men, and it would change the standard and the expectations for men to a much healthier, more realistic, more honest place that's not deceptive. Because deceiving people about your emotions as a way to go ahead in life, and setting that as a standard for and doing that because it's a standard for all men, is going to just being part of that hurts men. And the way it's not like you're doing a great harm in participating in that, but the act of not participating in that is a great good.
You got 20 seconds left. You want to do anything else, or?
Nope.
All right. Well, Demon Mama, response.
I don't even know. I don't even know how to respond to that. I guess if you don't think that there is a difference between something being bad and something being or something being good but not doing that thing, like if that automatically makes you bad, like for example, if you are currently in your current moment, there is I use this one against vegans all the time, but whatever, it applies here. If you in your current moment believe that it is a good thing to go give to poor people, to people who are more in need than you, you're not doing that right now. There are actually an infinite number of morally good things you could be doing right now. By your current framework, not doing those things is a moral bad. I don't believe that. I don't believe that not doing a good thing makes you automatically take the bad position. But you do seem to believe that. You seem to believe that you can only be morally good when you choose to buck explicitly the trend. But I don't necessarily think that's true. I do believe that it would be a good thing if men were more open with their emotions. And I do believe it would be a great thing if we could lower the pressure that people feel or completely remove the pressure that people feel to apply makeup. But I just don't think that somebody enjoying makeup or somebody choosing to put on makeup is an immoral act. And I think that's a very strange thing to do. And I also think that it's very weird to then tie in like your inability to remember your ex-girlfriend's face without makeup into any of it, which to me, again, that just sounds like a you problem.
So it sounds like you're done. Smith, you're going to get 2 minutes to reply as well. I also do...
It's her problem.
Once you're done, very quickly, I do want to know what happened to the original question. You were going to ask Stephen Mobbitt to argue something from the perspective of conservative. But
no, that was not Smith.
Was it not Smith?
Somebody else.
Oh, I thought sure.
No, that was I think.
Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. All right, 2 minutes response. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a her problem. And I do remember what her face looks like without makeup, but when I think of her, I think of the person with the makeup because I only would ever see her for 5 minutes in the morning before she would do makeup. And
Did you
yeah,
break
that's
up
a her
with her, or
problem.
did she break up with you?
I broke up with her. Um,
Mm.
so she,
Because of the makeup?
no, it's because she sucked.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, you said that I'm my position is that not doing something good is immoral. That's not my position. There's a million moral things, like you said, that we can be doing at any time that would be very good, and we're not doing all. We can't do all those things. It's actively participating in something to your personal benefit that also causes a disservice to everyone else. That is not a great immoral act, but the participation is immoral. It's not like you're killing someone. It's just you're you're benefiting yourself at the expense of others. And that is immoral. I think that to say that's not immoral is a you're doing those mental gymnastics again, and you have to be a hypocrite.
But
But
at the same time, though, currently you're wearing glasses which cost labor, which was exploitative,
right,
undeniably, for your own personal benefit,
right.
and that's an immoral act. You could fix that by just taking your
I don't
goddamn
know.
glasses off
I
right
don't know
now.
how it hurt. I don't know how it hurt anybody, but you
Well,
could say that, and
Are you sure you're ready? I don't. Maybe you're not ready
can
to
I
interrogate how
can
it
I
would
jump
hurt
in?
someone.
Picture this
Yeah,
though.
sure.
Your glasses are a peculiar shape. They don't have to be that shape. You picked glasses that frame your face in a flattering way, or that you think is a flattering way.
it's actually easier to make round lenses
You're a lens grinder
Oh, is
too.
that true?
Talented man.
because
Is that true?
because all glasses are a sub. So if they're not round, you have to like work harder to like a round lens is like your eyeball is round.
Okay,
'Cause you're
here's okay. I didn't realize you were actually in the glasses making business, and this was an economic decision that you had to face. But when I bought my
no, it's not.
glasses, I didn't have a
It's not.
round
He's
lens
bullshitting
tax.
you right now.
I know,
Yeah, he's
It's not a.
bullshitting you.
It's just
but that
He's
didn't
deceiving you right now.
that didn't factor
Mr.
into your.
Sunday.
The point is that did not factor into your decision.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Okay, so we can't rely on economy to say that. Well, I look. It's not my fault, man. I had to get the round glasses. You picked those because they look good on you.
Look.
You're
You
also
guys,
wearing a
you
hat
guys,
and a shirt, and your
right.
room is all dressed up, all nice. You got paintings on the wall. Well,
I
paintings
painted
cost
them.
somebody's labor. You painted all those?
Yes,
That's
I did.
impressive, actually. All right,
Exploiting
well
his
done.
own
I'm not
labor.
I'm not
that
a rich
bastard.
But I mean, they have chemicals in them and shit. But the thing is, you guys
Yes, they
telling me
do.
the things that I do that are immoral doesn't. I admit they are. I am immoral. You are immoral. By my standards, we're all immoral. We have to pick
Okay,
and
but
choose
do
our
you see how
battles.
that's like that becomes like it doesn't that just make you kind of go like okay, so it really diminishes the value of your moral
It doesn't for
statements
me.
if everybody's immoral and everything we do is
No,
immoral, doesn't that just make you go,
because
hmm,
it's not a black
okay,
and
the
white
world
thing. It's
sucks
not
then.
for me. It's not a black and white thing of you flick on a switch and suddenly it's not immoral and now it's moral. It's
Okay.
so it's a very it's like a there can
It
be a
sounds
little
very
bit
Christian.
immoral. It can be a little bit immoral, and then it can be a
Yeah.
lot immoral. So like killing someone be a lot immoral, and like
That person was a bad person.
bumping
Do you
somebody
think
on
a
the
killing is
forehead like
always bad?
that, it's a lot less immoral than killing somebody. Calling someone a name is probably less immoral than flicking someone on the forehead. But those are all immoral. And like participating to your own benefit in a system for your benefit that causes oppression and harm to others is immoral. It's way less immoral than those other things, but it still is immoral. And I think that if we recognize that, it'll help us move forward because people are
How?
unwilling to admit that it is immoral.
Because then we'll have a basis for telling the femoids not to wear makeup. Demon Mama, clearly.
Is that really how it works? Like, I mean, to me, it just seems like
In
all that you've
particular,
established.
wait, just to clarify, I want just in particular the natural makeup that looks like it's not makeup. The makeup that just makes it look like you're healthier and younger. Not like big wings and stuff. Not costume makeup. That's obviously makeup. I'm talking about making women look like more like they're on a cover of a magazine and like when you look at a cover of a magazine, if someone educates you on it, you're going to know that they did all kinds of touch-ups, but otherwise you're just going to be like, oh, I guess that's just a really beautiful woman.
Sometimes the fact of makeup by itself is also attractive.
Right. I don't know. I feel like this is like a hyper simplification and in service of a big old shrug. Just saying, yeah, everybody's immoral all the time and everything we do is immoral and putting on makeup is immoral and also wearing clothes is immoral and wearing your glasses is immoral. It just makes it me go, well, then who fucking gives a shit about what's immoral or not? To me,
Because it's a spectrum.
and it's valid. It's valid. You're allowed to think that way. I'm not saying you're not. And I mean, I do think it's a very silly way of going about the world. You are allowed to come to those conclusions. I just don't understand how it helps you in any way. It sounds to me throughout this entire conversation, you just sound kind of miserable and racked with guilt, and also like you're nursing some very strange things with people in your past. I don't know, but I can't know you to that degree, but that's what it comes across
Why
as.
do you say that
at least
about
to me?
I'm saying that it was bad for her that that people in her life think of her face as the makeup mask. Isn't that a
Yes.
horrific fact?
No.
Doesn't that horrify you?
The most
If
people, well, hold on a second. No, it doesn't, because my entire profession, it shouldn't. Why should it? Why should that horrify me?
What if okay, let's like okay, well, let's
See,
just
see,
stop
that's
putting
like
it.
this is like a
You want to
Christian.
frame it.
It is a Christian thing.
wanna-
It's like
I
you
don't
should
care
be
if it's Christian
scared.
or not.
Doesn't it terrify you that
No.
you're living in defiance of
I wanna
God?
put
And I'm
it
like,
in another-
no, because I'm
I want to
fine.
put it. I want to reframe it in something you'll agree with because you're not going to agree with because makeup and whatever. So let's still makeup.
Right.
Let's think about the Joker, like in that movie where he's like the mentally ill guy and stuff. And what if he always wears the Joker makeup, and the person underneath never gets to come out because everybody only sees him as the Joker. And when he talks to his friends, he's wearing the Joker makeup. And when he goes to events or whatever, he's just always wearing the Joker makeup. And then he goes one time and he's not wearing, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" And they're like uncomfortable. It's like, "Oh well, you don't look like the Joker. You don't look that good to me. I guess it's you. Hey, could you please put the makeup back on? Because that's what we wanted." I think that we should
this is
be
an
comfortable
interesting
and be
story, but I
accepted
don't
for.
understand.
We should be comfortable and accepted for what we
I
actually look
don't
like.
disagree with you, but I would feel like if you took off the makeup and your friends got mad at you, that would be like a problem with your friend's reaction to the
It
fact
would.
that but that has nothing to do that. But wait a minute, it would. Wait, it would?
Mhm. Yeah,
Then how come it's not a problem when you have a problem with your ex's face? That's you
because
problem.
when you put the makeup
Oh,
on,
dude, you just fucking come on,
I was
man.
answering you. I
That's
was
a total
answering you.
inconsistency.
Because when you put the makeup on every day, what you're doing is you're reinforcing this state of my face is the makeup face, and your friends expect that of you.
That's their problem, isn't it?
It's
For
your
just
problem.
having poor assumptions about the world. I don't think that people should. I think it would be stupid to live your life assuming that your partner is going to look exactly the same every day. And I think it is stupid to live your life assuming that any change to somebody
It's not
in
the
front
point
of
I'm
you
making,
is
though.
like a bad thing. But it is the
That's
point
not
you're
the point.
making.
No, it's not.
You're not.
No, it's not.
Maybe it's not the point you're trying
No,
to
the
make.
point
but
I'm
it's the point
making
you're
is that you
making.
don't see what your actual partner's face looks like except for 5 minutes in the fucking morning.
Again, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, maybe spend more time with your partner.
What
No,
what
she
what
Next
had
time?
gives
makeup on. She had makeup on 24/7 minus 4 minutes, and then those 4 minutes she would put her makeup on.
Smith, just to be clear, for people in my audience, the only time they have seen you is when you have flickering, flattering light from a particular angle. You are not presenting yourself in like normal room temperature light at the average height that people will be engaging with you at.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the point I was gonna make about myself, present Sunday, which is that most people in the world know me by a false name, Demon Mama. They know me. They know me as you know what? Weird. There's actually a game about this. It's called Metal Gear Solid 5. It's all about like
You
who is boss.
don't spoil it.
But
Don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil. It's a 10 year
No,
old
no,
game.
I've played it. I'm saying I know you're the line you're going down. You might spoil it.
No, it's just that we our perception is not wholly our control. We don't always get to control everything about our perception. But also, why do you care so much? Like, I know, I
It's
acknowledge
just
that
a
the moment that
topic
I
that
step in front of the
I thought would be good.
camera. Well, but No, it's certainly a topic. I just
We
wonder
can
where
yell
you
and
where you get to the point of the morality angle when it comes to makeup. Because I do think that there are examples of great deception. I feel like you're fixating on one that is so minor, it almost like impedes your ability to appreciate other forms of deception. Like for example,
no. No, because we
What?
don't. Because the thing is, because we expect women to wear makeup, and we think that women without makeup are ugly.
I don't.
And so,
You
I
do
mean,
maybe. I don't.
I don't.
Okay,
But in
then.
general, we do.
I don't think that's true.
Some people do. I don't even know if it's general. I think there's like I think that the problem is
Women
that
who
there's a
don't wear
handful of
makeup
people in
are
the world.
women who don't wear makeup are uglier than women that wear makeup.
That's not true. A
I
lot of people,
don't
a lot of
agree
people
with
I think that's
specifically.
a fact.
No, because makeup
I
tends to
don't
have a
agree with that.
particular makeup tends to have a particular look. That's one of the reasons why you can spot it very easily,
No,
even when it's subtle.
no, you don't know. No. The thing I'm talking about is because
I
when
think
men that say that they think that men that say they like women without makeup are lying to themselves and lying to those women. Either one of those, or stupid. But I don't think you're stupid.
Hang on, I thought you said,
It's
you just said a few minutes ago
you just said you liked women without makeup.
I do, and I also
So are
like
you
women
lying
with
or
makeup.
stupid?
both. I think
No,
it's both,
no, don't be
Sunday.
mean. It's already
I can be
2:31.
mean. You said I have a ticket to be mean.
No, you can
You
insult
can't
him.
tell me I can't be
But
mean.
that's the opposite of what I'm
Insult
saying.
him
I'm saying
kindly.
what I
I don't know.
oh, yeah, okay. Well, no, the thing that I was saying was lying or stupid was when men say they like women without makeup, they would most men, I guess not me, I guess.
Do you want to revise that
But
first statement? Maybe that'll help you.
wait,
I
well, let
think
me
we got him,
finish.
Sunday. I think we got
Let me
him, Mr.
finish.
President.
Most men when they say they like women without makeup,
My chat says we got you. My chat
they
says
don't
we got
actually
you.
whatever. Most men when they say that they're not talking about actually lacking makeup. They're talking about the natural look that looks like it's not makeup. And if you present those men with two women side by side that are identical faces, and one has the natural makeup that doesn't look like it's makeup, like just has like certain level of concealer and a little bit of blush and stuff that
It's
makes her a
so
little bit
fucking
younger.
untrue for me, at
It,
least. I don't know about for you, but I'm poly. I have multiple partners in my house. Most of my partners do not wear makeup, and I fucking love them. I think they're beautiful.
sure.
I think they're attractive. And you put it side by side, I would simply say this is just different versions of the same person. They're in a different outfit today and whatever. I don't know. Like
Same rough ballpark. So here's my perspective on this. Like when I see someone who I usually find very attractive, with makeup on and then without makeup on, I don't care. There's like an element of exoticism about when they do have it on, but I'm not like,
sure.
what have you done with Harvey
Yeah.
face? Right? Like
Yeah.
that's not. It's you know it's makeup, even if it's like foundation, even if it's subtle, just like clearing up blemishes or whatever. Like I don't. And if it's a real like, oh, I was wearing foundation, like okay, so.
I want people to like with the shaving my legs thing. Like, I want people to love me for my hairy legs. I want if I had blemishes, if I have scars, I would want people to love me for my scars, and I would not want to have to cover them up.
Well, you don't have to cover them up, but just because you would like for
Then why
somebody,
do you?
just because you would like for somebody
I-
to love you with whatever imperfections you perceive about yourself, doesn't mean that therefore there is some moral impetus to like make those as the most obvious features, or like to not modify your appearance at all so that you necessarily keep them. And by the way, doing that doesn't actually make it so that people who love you wouldn't love you anyways if you did have those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But the okay, you've really helped me narrow this down with in my head.
Okay.
When you have, if say you have scars, if you cover up your scars, it's gonna be good for you or whatever. But like I was saying before, but the message that you're sending to the world is that people are more beautiful when their scars are covered up.
Right now, I'm covering up 3 of my scars on
Right.
my body as a pure side effect of wearing other clothes because I don't want to be fucking naked on stream.
Well,
So
then that's the
no,
different
I
thing.
am.
I'm not
No,
talking about
see,
that.
this is the problem with the whole
Scars on your
conversation.
face. Scars on your
I
face.
have scars on my face, and I don't hide any of them. So what?
Good.
I don't know if
But
I
if you
decided
did,
to show up with a
but you're not
mask.
engaging with
if
what
I-
I said though. I'm
No,
saying if you had
it's what
scars
you're
on your
saying
face,
is silly. It's absurd.
no, yeah, but
What you're
if you
saying
had
is
scars on
absurd.
if you had scars on your face and you cover them up to go in public, what you're
No,
telling the world is that scars are ugly and you should cover them up.
I understand. I understand the point he's
What you're
making.
telling the world.
I understand the point he's
I
making. The point he's making is that there's an implication when you wear things that obscure features of your body that you are tacitly telegraphing to the world that you consider those features that you are hiding, insofar as
Yes.
they are detected or insofar as they are not detected in the people who wear makeup, that these are in some sense undesirable traits. Unfortunately, for your argument, that does not by itself make it so. So that's insufficient. Like yeah, potentially, that may be the upshot. Everybody wears a specific kind of clothing. We're all wearing pants here. I mean, at least you two are. I'm not, of course. It's my stream, but like, therefore, the implication is, hey, it's a bad thing to not wear pants, right? That's there. There's a lot of social pressure to wear specific articles of clothing just because everybody does. But that by itself is not sufficient to say that therefore it's immoral for people to or damaging for people to wear clothes because
But
the frequency of that might create some norm or something. That's not sufficient.
exactly.
but you need
And
clothes, like
additionally,
because you got to for
it also
you have to have
sidesteps the
clothes
question.
You don't have to have
Well, I
clothes.
mean, in some environments you have
unless
to,
you
and
live on
many
the
you do not.
unless you live on the equator.
We're all indoors right now.
It's
Yes.
cold in my
Actually,
room.
it's actually absolutely well. That's well, okay. Turn up your heat. But there's a jump going on there from it is good to be proud of your body even if it has scars versus it is bad to ever hide those scars for any reason. But then
Not for you,
also okay,
for others.
but okay, whatever. But it sidesteps the question of like where is the source of this coming from? Who is the one who is pushing the idea? And I think it's usually very clear. For example, when you're talking about scars or physical physical differences like somebody having a differently shaped body or whatever, it often comes from a very small percentage of any population. People who are in positions of power choose to broadcast these messaging. For example, I mean, God knows that, like, I mean, Disney movies were really bad about this. Like, every villain is depicted as like a scarred up, deformed person until very recently, and which that's begun to change. And likewise, as a result of the higher level messaging changing, of course that was challenged not by the people in the largest positions of power. Likewise for makeup, if we want to go to the issue of makeup, the predominance and the demand to wear makeup is often propagated by people who hold money over everybody else. Women need jobs because they need to eat, and if they need the job so that they can eat, then they are left to the mercy of whoever is giving the job. And if the person giving the job is a patriarchal, uncritical guy who's sitting on a ton of money who thinks that women need to have a certain type of makeup, of course that's going to propagate that. But that's not the people putting the makeup on that are propagating that. They are only at best participating in a system that was created by someone else, that is being perpetuated predominantly by someone else. And I do think there are some examples where this is a little where it becomes harder to designate the source. Like, for example, I
I
think that
think there's merit
vegans.
to everything you just said, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, well, thank
And
you. I just don't see the value in condemning or even, I don't know, or even taking the
no,
time to worry about whether somebody who is in the barest level saying, okay, I have to deal with this thing. I don't see where the value comes
Here,
from
can I
condemning
okay,
or saying that
wait,
it's
I have
immoral.
one point to make and
go
then
for it?
President Sender, all
Sure.
right? So I think it's if you're just working at a gas station or whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you're like a public figure, if you're like Michelle Obama and you have scars on your face and you cover them up to do all your press conferences, then you're telling that you're really, really, it would do so much good to not cover your scars and like for all women, and you're really spreading that message, that covering, because people are probably going to know you have scars, and covering those up, you're telling all women now they have to cover up their scars. But if you're just a gas station, it's the levels of
That's true to a degree, but also keep in mind that there is a heavier cost for someone like Michelle Obama. Like, for
Great, that's what I'm
example,
saying.
Michelle Obama, by not wearing that makeup, would be deliberately opening herself up to incredible pain. Like, for
Yes.
example, the fact that so it's not that simple.
Or how about let's make it less
Michelle
selfish than
Obama,
that? Michelle Obama's a politician. She would open herself up
right?
to failing to win the votes of very superficial people, with the result that a
Donald Trump.
politician who's less exactly so who's more hostile to women, etc., gets into a position of power. It's not that simple. Um,
I think that when you wear the makeup, it's not just that there are these evil people at the top forcing you to. I think that every individual woman, and like not just women, like I was saying the example of men, but we're talking about makeup. Every individual woman that wears the makeup, it benefits their life. And I think if you want to stop that cycle, you have to have a shit ton of women be like, we're going to stop wearing makeup now.
okay,
Deal with
look,
it.
look. I don't think anybody's
Oh, actually,
denying.
hold on. Can I tweak this just a tiny bit?
Sure.
If you tweak the wording from saying benefiting their life, which I think you might be correct by a certain interpretation, it negates negatives that are put on them. It doesn't necessarily benefit them. It just negates negatives. Because like this is people, and I'm not saying these are 100% analogous. I'm just drawing a comparison. There are people who will say that gay people that like gay people aren't truly being discriminated against because they can just go back into the closet. But the truth is they're not gaining a benefit by going into the closet. They are just avoiding a severe negative that has been placed on them. And I think that there's a similar thing that could be going on here with regard to makeup, where it's not so much a benefit strictly as they are negating pre-existing negatives in our society. And what I think is that we should focus on those negatives. We should focus on who is creating those, who are the people that are pushing those. And I think there's a pretty clear answer when it comes to makeup, which is makeup brands, which is glamour magazines, luxury brands. These are people with huge platforms that are dictating to everyone else that that's the case. I don't think it's everyday people. I don't think everyday women putting on makeup so that they can, live their lives without these negatives on them are engaging in this in any sort of negative like immoral act. They're just trying to negate the negatives that are being placed on them by unjustly by society. And I think that goes true, by the way, that would make, if you take it from that position, I think that fits more with all of the other things you're saying, the glasses, the clothes, the everything that we do, where we're trying to cope with a negative that's been placed on us, as opposed to gaining a direct benefit. And I would argue, of course, there are some extreme examples. Maybe some people go so far into the makeup, or so far into something that they almost pop out the other end where they are actively contributing to it. But I think those are edge cases as opposed to the general rule.
I don't think. I think just very quickly. I don't think anyone's denying that there's like obviously a point where treating some type of fashion behavior as the norm gives the implication that the absence of that is in some way a deficiency or something like that. What I think is raising eyebrows here is that there are so many comparable cases that you're not fixating upon for some reason. Like, for example,
But
shaving in a particular way to flatter your face, having a particular hairstyle,
same,
using a skin
same.
product for like, yeah, stuff like that. Like,
Well, but we can acknowledge
using
though, right?
lighting.
This is me reaching
Yeah.
out to
I don't think the
Smith
light.
here. But you can acknowledge that that people can have multiple reasons for the reason, like multiple reasons why they do something, right?
Yeah.
Like say shaving. Um, like I
Or not
I'm gonna get
shaving.
very vulnerable here for just 1 second. I'm a trans person, I gotta shave my face. It sucks. I don't like it. But I don't do it for other people. I do it for myself. It seriously bothers me. I get gender dysphoria when I don't do that. It's something is a serious thing that bothers me. I don't, and while yes, at the same time, I do happen to be, fitting to some standard. I don't do it for anybody else. I never do it for anybody else. If I don't want to do it, I just stay in bed or take the day off or whatever. I'm able to do that. I do it only for myself. And I also know my partners don't give a shit. So you see what I mean? Like that is something where sure, there is actually a stigma that exists, but I don't do it to play to, it has no connection to that stigma. It's something totally about myself that I don't like myself. I don't like the way that I look that way at all. I am at peace with it. I acknowledge it's a part of my body. I don't have any like deep self-hate. I just don't like it. It makes me feel bad personally. That makes sense?
I think that yeah, I don't uh I can feel the thing that Mr. Girl is talking about right now, where I don't feel comfortable disagreeing with you about your own body because it's just feels weird.
I only
But
use it because I feel like it's a you don't have to disagree with me about my own body. I'm expressing my genuine
I
feelings
okay,
about a certain aspect.
I think that if you don't like yourself without shaving, that that pressure that pressure has been hoisted upon you. It's not like you were born feeling like you need to shave or something. You know, like the expectations of what you should look like come from society.
Well, no, because well, no, that's not true because society would actually, if you really want to go into it, society would pressure me not to shave,
Well,
uh,
yeah, but
by
I'm saying
default. And in fact, but
because
it's something that's
that's you know
bothered
what
me
I'm
for
saying.
my entire life. It's always
Well,
bothered me.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Like the pressure to look like a woman is the pressure to not be have a shaved face. You know, not have facial hair.
Well, the funny thing
So
is that these days I don't really care about looking like a woman. I literally don't think about that at all. I used to much more, especially when I was very early on in transition, and I was a lot closer to a lot of the uh, immediate trauma of people treating me so poorly for changing anything about myself. But I mean, I cut my hair short intentionally. That's not womanly. I did that because I wanted to. That was something I wanted for myself, and in fact, I also deliberately changed personally, I deliberately changed the type of clothes that I wear because I didn't want to feel like I was, because I didn't want to just only dress the way that other people want to tell me I wanna dress the way I was, and sometimes the way that I want to dress is a little bit more masculine, even though I still use she, her pronouns, I'm still a trans woman, uh, I just you see what I mean? Like, I don't think it's as clean as just saying that, like, whether someone chooses to do one action or another is participating or harming other people. I don't think I've harmed anyone by any of my stylistic choices at all. I mean, besides the very broad sense that yes,
right.
There is a
participating in capitalism is
Thank you.
participating in
Thank you for that. Okay. Right. Then I don't have to do that again.
yeah.
there's 4 minutes
Obviously,
left.
I agree with you on that.
There's four
Sure.
minutes left. Do you want to take turns wrapping up your positions? Or if
Sure.
you've moved on your positions, make that statement or whatever.
um,
Who wants to go first?
I think that the main disagreement was how we talk about morality, mainly. Um, I still feel the same.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll sum up mine then if you're done. Are you done?
I also I'll just say to women out there that want to be like public figures or something, fuck it. Just be beautiful without makeup and still make it to the top despite the expectations. And same thing to men. You should just be emotionally vulnerable. And even though I feel pressure as a streamer, well, it was easy because this debate thing. But usually I don't get very mad on stream, surprisingly. But um, like you just get there. Just you don't have to be an angry man if you're a man and you're a streamer. Just be yourself and be emotionally vulnerable. Like you don't have to fill that role. You just break the rules.
Okay, just very quickly, because I have an image to uphold. I disavow this message entirely. Men, wear makeup to hide your emotions. Give me a moment.
Yeah, as far as that statement goes, I don't have any disagreements with that. I mean, I showed my tummy scars on stream the other day, were from my surgery. I don't care. I'm not exactly famous for having the cleanest image around, although I do have a flair for style, as you can tell by my backdrops and things like that. I don't think you're a bad person if you don't decide that you want to not do makeup every day or whatever. I don't really look at the world that way. I think that we should reserve morals. When we make a moral statement, that should be for things that are remarkably important, where we have where our actions are we're actually able to make decisions. I also don't disagree with the idea that there is some level of moral culpability that comes from being a participant in society. But how far that goes, I don't know how useful it is to try and break that down into saying that you're immoral for being a part of the society that you were born into. You didn't have a choice in that matter. But yeah, that's basically it. I have a slightly different approach to morality. I don't really view not doing the good thing as a necessary bad thing. I realize we moved a little bit on that, but yeah, that's about it. I don't disagree with the idea that people should be more authentic, even in their performativity. I think that there is a great amount of authenticity that can come from dressing the fuck up and putting together an outfit and making a a legend, building a legend or something along those lines. I mean, after all, I am the first demon type streamer, so I'd be pretty hypocritical if I thought there was something wrong with building a legend for yourself. Yeah. Anyway, all right, that's about it.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
nice
you.
meeting you.
Thank you, Smith.
Yeah, it was
Thank
great,
you.
great talking with you.
And thanks,
Intense combo. Good.
thanks everybody who nominated him. We are doing extremely well. We are at 1.6K on the stream.